Lando Norris has bounced around all the academies in RPL, and now you may know him because he's commentated some RPL races recently. However, his only podium and his only chance to get close to a race victory in RPL came back in Season 5, Tier 2, Saudi Arabia. Lando Norris has raced some Tier 1 races in RPL before, some Tier 2 races, mostly there, and a few F2 races in the past. But as for Lando, will he ever return to racing in RPL and end up winning a race? He's never done it before. Sam Steed 07 drove an RPL during the F1 2021, F1 22, F1 23 game cycles and has never won a race. As for Sam Steed, his one RPL podium comes in Season 9, Tier 2 Imola, when he got the AlphaTauri, which is now known as V-Carb, onto the podium, and this was his highlight. But for Sam, there's not always been good moments in RPL. He's had a lot of up and down moments in the league. The question is, though, if Sam Steed were to ever return, does he get a victory at all? Bulgogi 14 never got an opportunity in a top 5 car in RPL until the end of the F1 23 game cycle. Goggi's raced in F1, Goggi's raced in Tier 2, Goggi's also raced in F2. His most successful tier can now be F2. As for Bulgogi, 2 Tier 2 podiums to his name, both being P3 finishes, classify as good chances toward a race victory. As for F2, he's had a few good chances toward a race victory, but it's never happened. The question is, will it happen on the F1 24 game cycle for Bulgogi? He's had 5 podiums in total in RPL as a whole. Mentoki is one of the most promising drivers that still races in RPL that has yet to win a race. As for Mentoki's case, she has a 100% finishing rate in the league since she started racing. She's not retired from a single race, but for Mentoki, the driver who's done F1, Tier 2, and Formula Endurance, she needs to find a way to win if she wants to get off this list. Her closest chance that she had? Season 12, Tier 2 Bahrain, her first and only podium. Mentoki's had a lot of unlucky moments, but can she find her way through and win a race? Time will tell. Kippe 57 has an F2 podium to his name and now a Tier 2 podium to his name. He's raced in F1 before, he's raced in FE before, F2 and Tier 2. But for Kippu's sake, the race win has never really been in sight. He's been in a lot of backmarker cars. Sometimes when he's raced in top cars, he's not been up at the front. But finally, he got his first Tier 2 podium not too long ago. His other podium that he has comes from F2. Can Kippu prevail and get a first career win in RPL anytime soon? We'll have to find out. It's been a long time since Canada has won as a nation in RPL, but the guy that could likely do it next would be Miniko. Miniko has 2 Tier 1 podiums to his name and is now in the fast McLaren, having a chance in that car for the first time up at the front of the field. As for Miniko, F2 is another chance he has this season to get a first victory. F2 is where he prevailed most in preseason, winning there. But again, like we said about Mentoki, preseason doesn't count. As for Miniko's case, he also came short of a victory in Formula Endurance in Japan, spinning with Jack on the last lap. If maybe things went the right way for Miniko, he could have had a first win, but he's one of those other drivers on this list looking for a first win on the F1 24 game cycle. We'll have to find out if Miniko can do it. Barney is one of those drivers who've been less than a tenth away from an RPL victory before. He knows what it's like to come up just short. He's had a P4 finish prior in RPL F1. He's raced a few times in RPL Tier 2, but as for the finish that he came up just short in, that was in RPL F2 at Spa. As for VRA Barney, will he be able to find victory once he gets the new F1 24 game and comes back with a team? We'll have to find out. RPL Zakaria is one of our most experienced drivers in RPL, being here since the start on F1 2019. He's floated around quite a bit in terms of the academies, teams, racing, not racing, full-time, reserve. For Zakaria's case though, There's been a few times he's been on the podium in the past. Look at Tier 2. He's been up there a few times. Look at F2. He was up there after the Annex ban. He got promoted to the podium in the Spa race. But Zakaria has never really been in a spot to fully go through and win a race. He's been close. He's always been a podium contender in the past, and always a points contender in whatever machinery he gets in. But can Zakaria find a way to win his first race in this game? Only time will tell. But Zakaria's chances are definitely running out. As for this next driver, he helped Mercedes get podiums in Season 1 of this league in RPL F1, but he can never win a race with the team. They did not win a single race in Season 1, Mercedes. But for Get Wreck's case, though, it's not the only time he had podiums in this league, Season 1, and came up just short of victories. He also had this happen in F2 when he returned, back in Season 11, at Saudi Arabia. For Get Wreck's case, we may never see him race again in RPL, but I'm sure he still wants to get that race victory at some point. He's come just so close to doing so. Will he ever be on the top step of the podium in RPL? We'd have to find out. He'd have to race again, of course, but only time will tell. There's one driver on this list that's been one braking zone away from a victory in RPL, and that was Super Liam. Some may know him as Phoenix. But for Liam's case, though, it was the race in Bahrain, back in Season 9 F2 that he was closest in, when Tim Sinclair took him out in the last corner, and Beatnik went through to win the race. For Liam's case, though, the win has only been in sight maybe once or twice, but for Liam, that win has never happened. As for Liam as well, he also took a podium, same case as Zakaria, during the Annex ban. He ended up getting that after the disqualifications ended up rolling in. But for Liam, that podium may have been his last. We'll have to find out, though. With a tier like Tier 3 being created, this will help someone like Liam maybe get that first career win that he was looking for. But Liam, one of our most experienced drivers, along with guys like Zakaria and Titan, who've never won races. Did I just say Titan a minute ago? Well, that's another driver who's yet to win a race. RPL Titan Iron. 7 F2 podiums to his name. He raced in the first 2 seasons of RPL F1. He's also raced back and forth a lot in Tier 2 as a reserve. But for RPL Titan Iron's case, he's another one you could say that time may be running out for. Who knows what happens with RPL Titan Iron's career here. He's mainly been a commentator throughout the league in recent times. But for RPL Titan Iron, with F2 coming back, we get to see him on the grid a lot more often. And now the question is, will he ever have a moment like he had in Season 4 F2 Belgium, where he ends up being just close to the victory and end up getting one spot better? For RPL Titan Iron, he's had chances where it's just ran away. Look at Season 17 F2 Spain as well. He was leading at least half the race and then was overtaken. He held on for a podium. But for RPL Titan Iron's case, I think the whole field would like to see a race victory from him. It would be a popular win, to say the least. And for RPL Titan Iron, just like Zakaria, so much agony, so much pain would end if that first career win would just go his way. And thank you for watching today's video. Did we miss anybody? Is there anybody you think that was on this list that maybe should have not been, or vice versa? Let us know down in the comments. But RPL Formula 1, make sure you watch our races and subscribe. We'll see you next time.